All right, hey algebra class. We're gonna postpone the quiz to be on Thursday instead of tomorrow on Wednesday. And that's just because I have seen a lot of mistakes when I was grading work from this past week. So I want to give you all a couple more days to prepare. Now, please check the comments on your assignments that you have been putting in. I am commenting back on mistakes. I'm commenting back on those that are copying other people's homeworks. 7 of us at this point. Mostly first period, 1 from 6th period. I am letting you know if you're using the math app and you're not receiving points. Okay? You all have got to do this for yourself. For me, because in Algebra 2, if you cannot factor, if you cannot solve by factoring, you're going to be a whole semester behind the other kids. Okay? You're going to have a very, very, very difficult time. Right now in Algebra 2, I just did factoring again, and we're in 4th 9 weeks, and I did it the entire year pretty much. So please get this down. Do it on your own. I will be happy to help. Also today in the attendance, if you want to set up a Zoom call for tomorrow on Wednesday, let me know. We'll set that up and we'll kind of get together, see each other. It'll probably all be at the same time. So if that's something you want to do, just go back to the attendance, say, I'd like to do the Zoom call. Okay. All right. So let's go through our steps again for solving. Okay. So we first have to be set equal to 0. Step 2, we're going to factor. Now, when you're factoring, this is where all the mistakes are coming from. You have to slide, divide by A, and then bottoms up. Okay? And then set each factor equal to 0 and solve for X. Okay? So if you're one of the ones that are struggling, write those steps down. Refer back to them. Keep looking at them. Okay? All right. So remember, you can pause that. You can go back, look at it again. All right. All right. So our directions are going to be to find the solutions. And you can hear my child crying at the door because he wants to come in. All right. So our first one, okay, we're going to go ahead and start with one that's not equal to 0. All right, so here's our first one. 3x squared plus 2x equals 8. This one's not set equal to 0. It's set equal to 8. Therefore, the first thing I'm going to do is move that 8 over. So I'm going to subtract 8. So that'll become 3x squared plus 2x minus 8 equals 0. So that is step number 1. Step number 2 is to factor. Slide, divide by A, and then bottoms up. So slide, so 3 times negative 8 is negative 24. So I'm multiplying to negative 24, but adding to 2, and they're different signs. Okay, bigger one's going to be positive. So negative 1 and 24, negative 2 and 12, negative 3 and 8, negative 4 and 6. Start adding those together to find the ones that add to positive 2, which is negative 4 and 6. So this is my slide, x minus 4, x plus 6. Now here's where we're messing up. Divide by A. A is 3. So I'm going to divide by 3. Reduce it if you can. 4 over 3 doesn't reduce, but 6 over 3 reduces to 2. So then I can bottoms up. So that's 3x minus 4. And there's nothing to bottoms up there. So x plus 2 equals 0. And that step 2 was to slide, divide, bottoms up. Step 3, set each of those factors equal to 0. And then step 4 is to solve for x. So add the 4. So 3x equals 4. Divide by 3. So x is 4/3. Subtract 2. And x is negative 2. All right, so let's do another one. I want you to pause this one, and I want you to work it out yourself. And a lot of us are not doing that, and, we're starting to get some mistakes there, okay? So make sure you are trying these. So this one will be 2x squared minus 11x equals negative 15. So pause me and go. All right, so you should have first added the 15. So that would be 2x squared minus 11x plus 15 equals 0. So now it's equal to 0, step 1. Step 2, factor, slide, divide by a, bottoms up. So slide, 2 times 15 is 30, and this one is going to be same sign, because it's a plus 15, same sign, both negative. So negative 1 and negative 30, negative 2 and negative 15, negative 3 and negative 10, 4 doesn't go in there, negative 5 and negative 6. Start adding those together to find the one that adds to negative 11. Negative 5 and negative 6. So x minus 5, x minus 6, and now I slide, divide by a. A is 2. Reduce. 5 over 2 doesn't reduce. 6 over 2 though. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then bottoms up. So bottoms up that 2. So that's 2x minus 5. There's no bottom there, so that's x minus 3. And then set each of those factors equal to 0. So add the 5, divide by 2, and x equals 5 over 2. You can make that 2.5, that's okay. And then add 3, and x equals 3. So 5 halves and 3. All right, let's go for another one here. I wrote some out, but I didn't work them out, so I'm working them out real quick. Okay. All right. All right, we'll do this one together, and then I'll let you try one, and then we'll go ahead and stop from there. All right, so 4x squared plus 16x equals negative 15. So first thing I do is make it equal 0. So I add the 15. So that's 4x squared plus 16x plus 15 equals 0. So that is the make it equal to 0, step 1. Step 2, factor, slide, divide, bottoms up. Slide, 4 times 15 is 60. So I'm multiplying to 60, but adding to 16. Same sign, both positive. So numbers that multiply to 60, 1 and 60, 2 and 30, 3 and 20, 4 and 15, 5 and 12, 6 and 10, and that is it. Which one adds to 16? 6 and 10. So x plus 6, x plus 10. Now, that was the slide. Let's divide by a. This is where we keep screwing it up. Let's please focus right here and listen to me. Divide by a. So a is 4. So I'm going to divide by 4. Okay? Then I'm going to reduce them if I can. You can use your calculator, I guess, but if it needs to stay as an improper fraction. So a calculator is going to give it to you as a mixed number, and that's not good. 6, 4. 6 and 4 are both even numbers, so they can reduce by 2. So that will be 6 divided by 2 is 3. And 4 divided by 2 is 2, so that reduces to 3 halves. 10 and 4 are both even numbers, so I'm going to reduce those by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So that is the divide by a part. Now we bottoms up. So I bottoms up this 2. I bottoms up this 2. And that is step 2, factor. Step 3, set each of these factors equal to 0. I don't have a whole lot of room left. And step 4 is to solve. So I'm going to subtract the 3. So 2x equals negative 3. Divide by 2. And x equals negative 3 halves. Subtract 5. Divide by 2. And x equals negative 5 halves. So negative 5 halves and negative 3 halves. Okay? Now that's a whole big jumbled mess, but a lot of us are going from here to here. You're skipping all this work. I've got to see that work or I'm not going to give you points. Okay? Because the math app will tell you these. Okay? But they're not going to tell you this work. And if I'm not seeing work, that's no points. That means no work's been shown. Okay? I know I'm getting strict about it, but you're hurting yourself, and I have a ton of people that are failing, and I just want you all to do good. All right. This will be our last one. Alright, so I didn't mark this one out either, so I'm going to go for that real quick. Okay. Oh, this is number 4. So 6x squared plus 7x equals 3. Alright, pause me and go for it. Alright, so you should have subtracted the 3. So 6x squared plus 7x minus 3 equals 0. And then factor, step 2. So slide. So 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. So I'm multiplying to negative 18 but adding to 7. And they're different signs. So it's either negative 1 and 18, negative 2 and 9, negative 3 and 6. The one that added to 7 was negative 2 and 9. So x minus 2 and x plus 9. Then I'll divide by a. So I divide by 6 and reduce. 2 over 6. 2 and 6 are both even numbers, so I'm going to reduce them by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 9 and 6 are both odd numbers. Well, no, 6 is not an odd number. Just kidding. They're both multiples of 3, though. So they're both going to reduce by 3. My brain's going crazy. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And then I can bottoms up. So that's 3x minus 1. Bottoms up. That's 2x plus 3. And then set each of those equal to 0 and solve. So 3x minus 1 equals 0. So I'm going to add the 1. So that's 3x equals 1. Divide by 3. So x is 1/3. This one, 2x plus 3 equals 0. Subtract 3. So 2x equals negative 3. Divide by 2. And x equals negative 3 over 2. Or negative 1 1/2. All right, so that's it for today. Make sure you do your work. Show your work. Don't copy somebody's work. Have a wonderful day.